10 minutes ago, Zhou Kai and Tan Songyun spotted together at Zhou Bichang's concert. Fans caught the intense moment on camera. In what has now become the most talked-about event of the night, Zhou Kai and Tan Songyun were spotted together at Zhou Bichang's concert just 10 minutes ago, and fans are still reeling from the emotionally charged reunion. Their appearance wasn't just a coincidence. It was an electrifying scene that blended tension, tenderness, and 1,000 unanswered questions, all unraveling in a sea of flashing lights and roaring music. The sighting that shook fandoms. Zhou Bichang's concert was already trending for its iconic setlist and unexpected collaborations, but nothing could have prepared fans for what would happen next. In the middle of the third encore, during an emotional ballad about unhealed wounds and lost time, camera lenses zoomed in on a familiar silhouette in the VIP section. Tan Songyun, dressed in a simple but elegant beige satin blouse and ripped jeans, stood clapping along with the music, until Zhou Kai entered beside her. Wearing a black leather jacket, his expression unreadable but heavy, Zhou Kai didn't even glance at the stage. His eyes were fixed on Tan Songyun. And that's when the crowd erupted. A moment of silence. In a sea of sound. Although security attempted to divert the focus back to the stage, dozens of fans captured the moment on their phones. Tan Songyun was visibly shocked. She took a step back when she saw Zhou Kai approach her, her hand instinctively clutching her chest. But then, he reached out. Not to touch her. Just to show he was there. The tension was unmistakable. They stood face to face for nearly 30 seconds. Not speaking. Not moving. The music played on, but the energy in the venue shifted entirely. Then came the whispers. Is this their way of making it public again? Flashback, where they left off. Let's not forget, just weeks ago, the world watched as Tan Songyun broke down during a live panel, publicly addressing the strain between her and Zhou Kai, especially after her name kept being linked to Wang Yibo. Their once solid relationship had reportedly cracked under the pressure of industry demands, miscommunication, and that viral interview where Zhou Kai was asked if he still believed in Tan. He didn't answer. That silence went viral. And now, standing side by side under the spotlight of Zhou Bichang's music, it was like the universe was begging them to try again, or finally close the chapter for good. The touch that broke everyone. At one point during Zhou's piano solo, Zhou Kai leaned closer to Tan Songyun and whispered something in her ear. Her reaction? She froze, blinked back tears, and then, without looking at him, reached out and held his hand. That single act, caught on several fan cams, has already generated over 4 million reposts within minutes. But what did he say? Some fans close to the scene swear they heard him whisper, "I never stopped waiting." Others claim he simply said, "Let's leave." Backstage drama? Sources from Zhou Bichang's team later confirmed that both Zhou Kai and Tan Songyun were invited separately. In fact, their seating arrangements were reportedly not even next to each other. Zhou Kai was supposed to be seated in the second VIP row with fellow actors, but he insisted, minutes before the concert began, on being moved closer to the left wing, where Tan Songyun was seated. Did he know she'd be there? Or did fate simply place them in each other's path again? One insider claims Zhou Kai had asked Zhou personally for a favor. He said he just needed a moment. Nothing more. Just a chance to look her in the eyes without cameras or scripts. Fan theories already spiraling. As the clips continue to circulate online, fan communities are ablaze with theories. Zhou Kai never gave up on her. This is their second chance. Did you see the way he looked at her? That's not fake. She reached for his hand. She reached for it. Don't tell me they are done. Zhou Bichang is the real MVP for orchestrating this. Several hashtags are trending, including #Zhou Kai Tan Songyun reunion, #concert of closure, #let them heal, #Bichang blessed us. Wang Yibo's name enters the chat. It wasn't long before Wang Yibo's name started trending as well. Some users began speculating if his recent Instagram story, just a black screen with the word timing, was a reference to the concert. Others believe this could reignite the tension between Zhou Kai and Wang Yibo, especially considering the recent rumors of behind-the-scenes confrontations between the two over their mutual connection to Tan Songyun. After the music ended, Once Zhou Bichang sang her final song and the lights began to dim, all eyes remained on the couple. Fans outside the arena captured Zhou Kai and Tan Songyun leaving through a back exit. This time, her head rested lightly on his shoulder. No entourage. No forced smiles. Just them. Wordless. Unbothered by the chaos they left behind. Exclusive. A message from Zhou Bichang's manager. An anonymous source from Zhou Bichang's team shared with us. Zhou knew this would be an emotional night, but even she didn't expect the kind of healing that happened. Tan cried during sound check. Zhou Kai didn't stop pacing backstage. Maybe it's not about going back. Maybe it's about finally understanding. What happens next? As of now, neither Zhou Kai nor Tan Songyun has released an official statement. Their management teams have remained silent. But based on their body language, the tears, the proximity, and that final handhold, the story doesn't feel over. Not by a long shot. Are they back together? Was this a goodbye? Or are we just witnessing the fragile beginning of something deeper than before? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Tonight, under the electric lights of a sold-out concert, Zhou Kai and Tan Songyun reminded everyone that sometimes love doesn't need words. Just timing, honesty, and a stage big enough to feel safe on. The lights had barely dimmed when the whispers started again. Zhou Kai and Tan Songyun weren't seated anymore. They were gone from the VIP section. Security scrambled, fans were flooding social media with unedited footage, and Zhou Bichang, still glowing from the concert high, was said to be speechless backstage. But what happened after the cameras stopped rolling was even more intense than the concert itself. A private room. A closed door. A conversation 7 months too late. According to a staff member working security backstage, Zhou Kai requested a private room moments after the final encore. But he didn't go in alone. He waited in the hallway, shoulders stiff, fingers trembling, until Tan Songyun walked past him toward the dressing area. She paused. He didn't say anything at first. And then finally, the words broke out of him like a dam snapping under pressure. I didn't come here to be seen. I came here because I never stopped looking for you. Tan Songyun didn't respond immediately. She walked past him, entered the room, and left the door open, just slightly. He followed. And for the next 20 minutes, no one saw or heard anything. But the moment they stepped out, everything had changed. Her eyes were red. His hands were shaking. They weren't holding hands this time. But Tan Songyun's eyes were visibly swollen, and she kept dabbing at her face with the sleeves of her blouse. Zhou Kai looked hollowed out, but there was an unmistakable softness in his expression, a quiet surrender. Like a man who had finally spoken the truth he was too proud to admit for months. And then came the elevator. As they stood waiting, a paparazzo stationed in the parking lot across the street zoomed in just in time to catch what is now considered the moment of the night. Tan turned to him. Quietly. Brokenly. Why now? She asked. Why after everything? Zhou Kai closed his eyes. Because this time, I didn't want to read about you moving on with someone else, he replied. I wanted to hear it from you. The elevator doors opened, but neither of them moved. Fan footage reveals a raw goodbye, or was it a beginning? While fan cams had captured the earlier handholding in the concert hall, a second wave of footage now revealed something even more heartbreaking. Just before they stepped outside, Tan Songyun reached out and touched Zhou Kai's face, lightly, like she wasn't sure she had the right anymore. You're still the only person who makes everything feel real, she whispered. Then let's stop pretending, Zhou Kai answered. A moment passed. And she dropped her hand. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too, he said. And then they walked out together, not smiling, not holding hands, just walking side by side like two people with 1,000 memories between them and no map forward. Insiders say the concert was never supposed to be their reunion. A music producer who worked closely with Zhou Bichang for the show revealed that Tan Songyun was invited weeks ago, before Zhou Kai even confirmed attendance. He wasn't on the final list. We were shocked when he called and said he wanted to attend, the source shared. He didn't ask for front row seats or special treatment. Just one request, to be seated where he could see her. And here's where it gets even more shocking. The song that played when he entered the VIP area was called, If You Still Remember. Zhou reportedly dedicated it to all the people we've loved and hurt. Coincidence? Or a perfectly timed message from a friend who knew this moment needed to happen? Tan Songyun's manager breaks silence. Just an hour ago, Tan's manager posted an Instagram story showing a blurred photo of two hands, one holding the other gently. No caption. No tags. But fans are convinced it's a soft confirmation of what really happened behind the scenes tonight: healing. Quiet. Raw. Unscripted. Fans react. They never needed a stage. They just needed each other. Online reactions have been overwhelming, with netizens flooding forums and fan pages with emotional tributes. I watched them break, and now I'm watching them bend back into each other. I'm crying. Zhou Kai showing up without PR, without ego, just for her? That's love. I don't even care if they're together. I care that they found peace. Some fans are also pointing out that this isn't about getting back together, but about two people choosing each other, even when it's inconvenient, even when it hurts. Where does this leave Wang Yibo? With Wang Yibo's name still trending after the cryptic timing post, speculations about his role in this triangle remain unavoidable. Tan Songyun has previously been rumored to share unresolved emotional history with Wang Yibo. A few insiders even hinted that she leaned on him during her rocky moments with Zhou Kai. However, none of these were ever confirmed. What is clear now is that tonight's moment was between two people only, Zhou and Tan. No third party. Just history, vulnerability, and maybe a future. Back to the car. Back to reality. One last piece of footage shows Zhou Kai opening the car door for Tan Songyun as they prepared to leave the venue. She hesitated, looked at him, and finally asked, "So what happens now?" Zhou Kai's reply? "Now, we stop hiding." To be continued. The world is waiting to see what comes next. A post? A statement? A second sighting? Or maybe, nothing at all. Maybe the moment was enough. Because sometimes, love doesn't need confirmation. It just needs a concert, a piano ballad, and two people brave enough to show up for each other, even when it's almost too late. Stay tuned. Something tells us, this isn't over yet.